I'm hurt. I know when it comes to society, people like to change hurt into I'm weak. And I'm not weak. Because for year after year after year, I let people come into my life and tell me who I was as a person, degrade me as a person, question me, make me feel down, make me alter my mindset because of their ideologies in me. A weak person wouldn't be able to have all that self-deprecation, all of that degrading come towards them and still be able to snap back into their old self when that person is gone. Yes, the pain is still there. Yes, the skeletons are still there, but every single occasion I've learned and I grew and I expanded as a person. But what I've realized for myself is that I am hurt because for some reason, every person that has hurt me or done me wrong in some way, I'm subconsciously waiting for them to come back to me and apologize for the wrongdoings they have brought to my life. Apologize for the moments they have made me cry or feel down or question myself. And then I read a quote where someone said, what if the person that has brought trauma into your life is on their deathbed and they die never apologizing for the times they hurt you? Do you stay angry forever? Or do you move on and swallow that harsh pill that this was just a person that probably could not acknowledge the pain they brought into your life? What I had to learn was that there are just some people that are just going to be on this planet to hurt you. You know how we all have goals in life and how we all have purposes. Some are good, some are bad. And I would love to believe that I live on an earth where everybody I encounter is good and everybody I encounter has a beautiful story attached to them. But what I also realize is I can't live on an earth where there's good and not bad. So even though that I feel as if I walk this planet to spread light, love, and happiness, there are some people so hurt themselves that they feel like they need to spread anger and trauma and abuse. And just because they think they feel like they need to do that doesn't mean you are less of a person. And because they decide to bleed on you, their trauma and their anger and their issues doesn't mean something is wrong with you. I feel like for so long, that's what I trained my mind to believe, is that because that person chose me to hate on, to make me their punching bag, that I had problems with myself, that something was making me a common denominator of attracting these people into my life that were horrible. But then I realized, just like how a moth is attracted to a flame, bad blood is attracted to a serum. Some people can't stand or can't understand what it means to be happy, what it means to have joy and peace. And I can understand that to a certain extent. How if you might have grown up and never had that love or those hugs or happiness or toys or whatever it is that you think will cause you to have a good life, if you or as a person have not experienced that, I can see how seeing somebody that is fulfilled, that is blessed, can make you angry. But what I don't understand is that even though that makes you angry, it brings you to wanting to tear that person down because they have blessings. I remember when I was in high school, for some odd reason, people would talk about who had the worst life. Like, oh man, I didn't get toys for Christmas. What did you, you know what I mean? You got toys for Christmas. Or, oh, my father left and you still have, you know what I mean? For some reason, there was this weird comparison of who had the worst life. And I remember somebody tried to do that to me. And they said, Christy, you haven't been through anything. You don't have any trials and tribulations. And I remember looking at them in their face and saying, listen, you're not going to make me feel upset or make me feel guilty that I didn't have a bad life. You're not going to make me hurt because I had things that you didn't. I don't think people realize when it comes to trauma, they don't realize that that's not supposed to be there. So many of us, when it comes to society, we live through trauma in so many different ways, shapes, and form that we think a life without it isn't normal. We make trauma so normal to us that a lot of us can't even picture living without it. And I remember telling that person is that you do realize that there's nothing wrong with having good things in your life. There's nothing wrong with getting the things you ask for having the family you want. You do realize we're not supposed to be living in areas where we hear gunshots every day. We're not supposed to be living in areas where we could see a dead body on the street. That's not supposed to happen. We're not supposed to get normalized or desensitized to seeing somebody get robbed or seeing somebody get shot or abused. The moment all of those things start to desensitize you and make you numb, that is the moment you should realize you are in the wrong place and something is wrong. But because it happens every single day, because we can turn on the news or we can look at a newspaper or we can look at Instagram or Facebook or Twitter and see somebody got shot, somebody got killed, a bank got robbed. Every single day, damn near every hour of the day, we see these things as normal and we see these things as just as another obstacle. But what we don't realize is that none of this is normal. None of us should be living in so much pain and misery that we feel like we need to hurt others. We need to steal from others, kill others, do substances. But because it happens every single day to different groups of people, different ages, different races, different sexes, it's just another Tuesday for us. When in reality, the things we surround ourselves with aren't always the healthiest. And so me figuring out that the problems I have in my life is that I'm hurt from all the people that have done me wrong and hurt me, I realized I had to let that go because I started to bleed on people that didn't cut me. I started to isolate myself from people that didn't hurt me, that didn't take advantage of me. And then I realized I can't go the rest of my life being afraid, being mad, being salty and rude and passive aggressive to people that could potentially be the ones that can bring light and love into my life. I can't keep walking through life knowing I have these issues on me, knowing that I have these problems within my soul and I don't do not one thing about them. I won't become complacent with my toxicity. I won't become complacent with the thing that is poisoning me every day, that is altering and hindering my mind every day when it comes to human interactions and when it comes to me finding opportunities. A lot of us on this planet, we walk around hurt in a lot of different ways. And some of us notice it and others just compress it. But if you know there's something you can work on, if you know there's something that is on your mind constantly every day, making you question, degrade, look at yourself different, look at your character different, pull it out the closet, examine it, break it apart, do whatever you can to the things that are smothering your mind so you can live free and you can live clear. There's nothing wrong with being hurt. There's nothing wrong with understanding that something is bothering you, that something is on your mind. You acknowledging that is you giving yourself the opportunity to fix it, to become stronger, to become more beautiful and knowledgeable than you was once before. Don't let anger drive you through this lifetime. Don't let sadness and fear take a hold of the steering wheel. There are way more emotions out there that we as human beings can feel and can experience and can enjoy without substances, without distraction or dissociation. You can experience happiness. You can experience peace and bliss and tranquility without that pain sitting inside a backpack on your back. You can have these things. And I think the moment we realize that these are options, like literal options we can have when it comes to emotions of living on this planet, a lot of us would change. A lot of us would do that hard work it takes to get there. It's not easy. It takes 2 seconds to break something, but it could take years to build it again.